Patrick's Picks. Today I want to talk about one more book out there that's a must read for everyone in my audience, whether you're an actor or non-actor, and that is Scott Sedita's book, The 8 Characters of Comedy. The 8 Characters of Comedy. So for all you actors out there, it's part of your tool set. You want to be able to do all kinds of things, and getting technique down, knowing how to do comedy, is going to feed you in every way. If you want to be on a sitcom, it's a must. And if you're a dramatic actor, or you mostly do drama, it's a great book because it talks about technique and it's going to enlarge your scope and your abilities. For my non-actors, well, think of it like being a football player who's told to go take a ballet class. Well, I'm a football player. Why should I take ballet? Why? Because it increases your flexibility, your stamina, your mental acuity, and the list goes on. Same thing is true here. It really pushes you into a new situation for those non-actors where you learn how to do something that isn't innately part of you. When it comes to voice and speech and being a better speaker, Scott nails 3 things that I want to talk about here that I just love. It's 3 of many, many things he shares about, but in terms of the voice and speech, he says, 1, stay still. As a comedic actor, stay still. Number 2 is pay attention to punctuation. And number 3 is use keywords and phrases. Let's talk about each of those. So staying still. See, if I start to move all around like this, it takes away from my message. For those of you who go on TV interviews, staying still is so important, really being centered. For those of you giving speeches in public, if you start to shift your weight from side to side, it takes away from your authority. I had a client the other day come to me and she was talking about wanting to come across more confident. And the thing is, she is confident. She has confidence. She's gotten higher degrees. She's very experienced. She's super smart. But because it doesn't come across that way and she can feel it, well, the way that I saw it show up in her was this shifting as she was talking. She wasn't really centered, planting herself. And in comedy, if you're delivering a joke and you start to move back and forth, you create what Scott calls static. You start to create a static image that's really, hard to focus on, and you'll lose the joke. So staying still is so key. The next point Scott makes is paying attention to punctuation. Really paying attention to punctuation. So I talk about this in my videos on upspeak. What is upspeak? Upspeak is making sentences, statements, sound like questions. So typically in American English, if we make a statement, I like ice cream. In that statement, the inflection goes down. It's a statement, sentence goes down. I like ice cream. If it's a question, the inflection goes up. Do you like ice cream? But if I say a statement sounding as a question, it kind of confuses people. It makes people think that I don't really know, or I need your validation. I need you to agree with me. And I say, I like ice cream. Notice the inflection. I like ice cream. The tone is going up. I need your validation. So we really want to make sure we're aware of how we use sentences and that we pay attention to punctuation. Something's a period or a question mark or an exclamation point, so that I say, I love ice cream. If it's an exclamation point and I say, I love ice cream, I miss the exclamation point. I love ice cream. So paying attention to punctuation. The third part is key words. How often have you heard a speaker talk? We have some sirens going on in the background. It's always a fun thing. How often have you heard a speaker talk and they are talking all at the same level? Everything kind of sounds the same. They might be giving a talk that's very technical, but everything sounds the same. And so now you have something that's very technical and maybe not inherently grabbing your attention, and it all sounds exactly the same. That is not using key words. By using key words, by giving some punch to them, some volume, slowing them down, pause, pace, pitch, as I always say, it gives them some importance. It gives your listener a little signpost. Hey, this point is important. So those are just 3 points that Scott brings up in his book. And why do I talk about them here? Is because it's preparation. Preparation. being prepared for that speech you're going to make, by going through it and really paying attention to your key points, to being centered, to really paying attention to the punctuation so that it's not one long run-on sentence, but rather there are parts where you take a breath, where you ask questions, where you make statements. By doing all of that, you get to show up for yourself and become an awesome speaker. And Scott's book is just one way to do that. Thank you, Scott, for having me at your studio to film, and congratulations on a wonderful book. It's one of the best sellers in the industry, and I urge you to go on Amazon today and grab your copy. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.